What up, YouTube Live? How's it going, everybody? All right, let me put this microphone cable aside. Wow. Happy Tuesday morning, January 8th. Today is the birthday of the late, great David Bowie and the birthday of the late, great Elvis Presley. So, what you running? Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! So, I'm here to do another round of Future Man review. The new season 2, it has 13 episodes, and thank you to Hulu. I have screened all 13 episodes. Um and and I'm doing this review of this new season 2 episode by episode. And so as always with all my TV reviews or my recap episodes, or episode recap, I should say, that this also will contain spoilers. So, spoiler alert, I will be spilling some spoilers here. So, what happens in season 2, episode 5? The title is J1 Judgment Day. Come on. Just from the title itself, you know it's going to make fun of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And throughout the course of this show, it has made fun of Terminator franchise and Back to the Future franchise, and there's some references to Johnny Mnemonic and even John Wick for some reason. And of course, in last season, you remember they went to James Cameron's high tech mansion, and they got the Sigourney AI controlling the whole building. So, uh, in this episode 5, all right. So, just a refresher, what happened in the previous episode 4. Um, Tiger, Josh, and Wolf got reunited at the end because Tiger comes into the nag. Is like, hey, come here. and Wolf and Josh is like, oh, I guess it's not as hard as I thought it would be to enter and exit the nag. The nag, by the way, means the new above ground, which is this Mad Max X kind of community, Mad Max kind of type community. People wear like, old kind of dirty, raggedy clothes, and their cars are like custom made. Well, they don't have cars in the nag because they don't believe in technology or electronic. In the nag, even the currency is like keypads from keyboards. And they call it chits. So and as you know, just a refresher, Wolf is taking on this new identity called Torque, and Torque is a wheel maker. And Wolf has become very comfortable with living in the nag with his 5 spouses, 2 of whom are men. So, okay, so that's what happens. So, at the beginning of this episode 5, they start crawling out of the nag through some kind of I don't know, maybe a vent or a tunnel, I should say. And even during the course of this going out of the tunnel, man, they have disagreements. Not only just about, because Wolf is like, oh, the nag is not so bad, you guys, but also disagreements about what has happened to this alternate timeline, this alternate 2162 year. So, and and then they get out, and they find where Josh tried to drink his own pee in the previous episode. There's still some traces left about his, like, oh, Tiger's like, oh, this is where you tried to drink your own pee but failed. You hesitated. uh, and so they keep having arguments as they walk and walk and walk. um and you could tell. Oh, by the way, one of the stories that Wolf shares in the beginning of this episode is kind of like, it takes you to the flashback of when he's with that Sigourney computer in James Cameron's mansion, and it takes him back even further when he advises Arnold Schwarzenegger to not take that project T2 Judgment Day. And how he beats up James Cameron because of it. So in Wolf's mind, he reads the script to Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and he finds it so what's the word I'm looking for here? I, I guess prophetic. He finds it so prophetic, like he wants to like he feels that the script of Terminator 2 Judgment Day reveals too much, as if it's the work of somebody who has some kind of a premonition of what the future may be. So it's like, oh my god, this is too dangerous. I can't let the script be made into a movie, because then people will be like, oh, we'll try to make the technology happen, so for time travel. And so he beats up James Cameron. He tells Arnold not to take on the project, and that whole sequence is pretty funny. I got to give the show credit where credit's due. Okay, so they travel on, and this is the part when I said in the previous videos that the part in episode 5 where Tiger asks Wolf to charge her. Now, remember, guys, my fellow Future Man fans out there, when it's time for them charging, it basically means Wolf fucking Tiger. Remember in the season 1, they were fucking like rabbits inside Josh's room, and Josh walks in on them and is like, "Oh, can you do that somewhere else?" And he's like, "What? What's the matter? This is charging. This is what we do." And they're just doing it like doggy style. So in this episode 5, um, Tiger asks Wolf, "Hey, can you charge me?" Like, because they've been like walking and walking and walking and arguing about, hey, because Wolf is trying to convince Josh and Tiger to like the nag, and they're like, they're not buying it, of course. And so by this point, it's like, fine, fine, whatever. Let's try to rescue Josh, because Josh gets kidnapped again. He gets kidnapped again by the pointed circle. It's like, let's just save him now. Let's rescue him. Let's forget about our arguments for now. Let's charge so we can get ready to enter the cave and rescue Josh. And Wolf hesitates. Wolf is like, oh, he unzips, like, and then he zips back up. It's like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have like 5 wives now and a kid, and so he can't get it up to charge Tiger. And it's funny how the writers of this show make Wolf seem so domestic now. He's like a domestic cat, you know. It's like it falls into those stereotypes or thinkings that if you are married and you've been with your spouse for a while and you actually care about your spouse and vice versa, then it's eventually it's more about it becomes more than just about the sex, you know. When you're younger and when you're partying, when you're having a life of your, in your 20s or whatnot, it's mostly just about the sex, nothing more. But when you're in a relationship, when you're married to somebody for a while, and there's that deep connection, then then the idea of being attracted to somebody else, or you know just doing it for the sake of doing it, it kind of evolves into something like, yeah, if it has no meaning, then what's the point of the sex? So it's to me, it's sort of a comedic take on those thinkings, and they apply that to Wolf. And Tiger's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna charge myself, which is probably keyword for masturbating. In the meanwhile, in the meantime, Josh is in the cave, gets kidnapped again by the Pointed Circle. The Pointed Circle, of course, is this organization that wants to take down Stu Camillo, because Stu Camillo is the big bad guy in season 2. Stu Camillo created the Cronish cure, but also eventually created the Mons, which is the community that wants to go to the planet Mars. And the pointed circle wants to stop that effort, because they know exactly what Stu Camillo really plans, instead of going to Mars. Now, I'm not going to reveal that plan to you right now. In the subsequent reviews, I will, of subsequent episodes. So the pointer circle, if by this point you're wondering, well, are they good guys or bad guys? Because if they want to take down Stu Camillo, they must be good guys, right? Well, yeah, I guess so, but it's a mixed bag because their method their method makes them pretty bad guys. Not only did they steal the TTD, the time travel device from wherever that hole that tiger um, buries itself in, buries the TTD in. But they also kidnap Josh, and turns out in this episode they create Josh's clones, and there's the reason being they're trying to figure out a way uh, to make use of Josh, to create a way or a weapon to kill, ultimately Stu, but they always fail. So somehow Josh is the key, and so they have to keep trying and try again, and therefore they have to keep creating Josh's clones. And the original Josh is called J1, hence the title J1 Judgment Day. And so in this episode, Josh meets his clone, one of his clones, and his clone just keep, man, he if you think that Josh is already a kind of panic frenzy kind of character who always gets antsy about everything, is like, oh my god, the future's, it's gonna be bad, we're gonna have to, let's do this, we have to battle it, because Josh is always worried and like he's having an anxiety attack. Well, this clone is even more, I mean, like, he panics even more than Josh. He's like, he starts screaming every now and then. It's not even Josh 2.0, it's just the worst qualities about Josh on steroid. That's basically how you describe Josh's clone. And at one point, Josh's clone dies at the experiment table of Pointed Circle. Well, and then Wolf and Tiger come into the cave. They try to revive Josh, and at this point, while they're trying to revive what they think is J1, but it's actually Josh's clone, as they're trying to do that, trying to hit him in the chest or whatnot, right? Trying to get the heart pumping again or beating again. As they're trying to do that, the bad guys, the Pointer Circle, Goonies, start closing in on them and like, okay, fight sequence. Oh, so you have a fight sequence in the middle of this episode, and it's pretty good. I gotta hand it to the shows and the choreographer too for the fight choreography. It's very simple, nothing too complicated, nothing too elaborate, but you know, uh, it's fitting the runtime of the fight sequence to the episode itself. So, and it highlights, if you okay, let me put it this way: if throughout the episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, you kind of miss, seeing Tiger and Wolf, teaming up, beating up bad guys or kicking ass. If you miss that whole harmony synchronization as they fight, well, you get to see that here in episode 5. Episode 5 basically satisfies your quench for that. So it's like, because in season 1 you see Tiger and Wolf in season 1 doing that quite a lot, having each other back in the battle, fighting. I believe it's like what was it, the 80s, right? They were setting up a barricade against the cops and the motorcycle gang. Do you remember that? So there were moments like that, many moments like that in season 1. Not a lot moments like that in season 2, but episode 5 gives you that. It's like, okay, here you go. For those of you who miss it, who miss watching them fight, here it is. And it feels good seeing them fight again side by side as a team. Of course, eventually by the end of the episode, they figure out, oh, so that's Josh's clone. Uh, J1 shows up. It's like, let's just put him with put him with the rest of the clones that are dead, and they got out of the cave. By this point, Athena, the leader of the Pointer Circle, has successfully stolen the TTD, the time travel device, from Josh. Because Athena overpowers Josh. Obviously, Josh is not. He's not a fighter. He tries, but he's not a fighter. So he gets overpowered, and Athena takes the TTD, but Josh is smart. Josh takes the element that is needed to power that TTD away. So he gives that to Tiger. So the TTD that Athena has not right now, it's not really fully functional unless you have that element. Uh, so by the end of this episode, Tiger once again tries to convince. I'm sorry, Wolf. Wolf tries to convince Tiger and Josh. You guys, you gotta give the nag a chance. Once you settle in, it'll be fine, man. I know. The nag is rough around the edges, and we don't have certain things that we used to do. I mean, we used to have, but come on, you'll get used to it. It's like, no. And Wolf is like, no, man, you're trying to play house. You're trying to settle down. And Josh is, of course, being Josh, always panics and anxious about, things like, no, we still got a mission. We still got to do this. Point a circle. We got to take down Stu. And it's like, an attack's going to happen. And Wolf is like, yeah, I think we'll just do that. And you could tell that that not only Wolf thinks that, I'm sorry, not only does Tiger think that Wolf whole playing house thing is stupid, but Tiger is also hiding something. She's hiding a secret. You can tell it's like, oh, there's something more to this than just her wanting to continue on being a soldier or continue on with the mission. Yeah, because there's some moments during the episode when certain things or certain words get mentioned, and the camera would pan on her face, and she'd be like trying to look down or trying to look elsewhere. That's usually that's the giveaway for somebody who has a secret and he or she doesn't know how to uh, keep it really well, or the face will kind of give it away. It's like, oh, so they're not really the greatest poker players in the world. so so I'm not gonna reveal to you what that secret is till my subsequent reviews or subsequent episodes. But yeah, just my last point is that with regards to the character Wolf, it's fascinating, man. It's fascinating how, as I mentioned to you before, whatever uh, era or timeline that Wolf would find himself in, he would just adjust and he would feel comfortable in it, you know. Whereas Tiger, remember she went to the 50s. She always comes to the realization like, oh, this is not where I belong. Whereas Wolf is like, oh, I can make this work, you know. And I think there's a part of Wolf also that's like so kind of tired of fighting, exhausted. He represents, I guess, many of us who got to a certain point in our lives or certain age where we're like, you know what, I predictability and same thing happening every day or a routine that doesn't sound like a bad idea. That doesn't hurt at all. Maybe we could use some of that. I mean, like it's healthy, right? So that's where that's where Wolf is coming from, and it's interesting, as I mentioned, like to see how the priorities of these three characters, each of them has different priorities. Well, Josh and Tiger are more aligned than Wolf, but still, it's interesting to see how those priorities collide and clash, and it's like, okay, I guess everybody's in there, you know. When they have their priority checklist, number one is different from each other. And yeah, the team is breaking up, and it's kind of sad, but but we'll see whether or not they'll reunite again in the subsequent episodes. So make sure you tune in. I'll provide reviews of episode 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 very, very soon. So yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to this channel and ring the bell and press that like button and share this video with all your friends and their grandmas. And if you can help support Rama Screen channel, please do so at patreon.com/Rama Screen. That's patreon.com/Rama Screen. Let's wrap this.